Okay, so my plan today is that you will finish, I'll finish the teaching of it, and all of you will start the certification. Now, certification is where you get to use your notes or whatever, and you just kind of work the problem out. I walk by your desk, and if it's correct, I put my initials on there, and you said, that's right, I know how to do that kind of factor label problem, and I move on. And if you want to show me 3 in a row, I'll do those. But those sheets actually stay here today. They don't go home with you because I need to witness you actually being certified. So then what happens is I won't see you on Tuesday, but then on Wednesday, you'll have about 20 minutes to finish your certification. And then I will hand you a quiz. Everybody got that? Now, remember, if you do 5 problems and you're certified, well, then you should be able to take a quiz as to get your little patch, your certification. I don't have patches. I just made that up. But anyway, so that's my goal, is to wrap this up by Wednesday as far as factor label. Then I will probably talk about chapter 3 for a couple days. It's a very, very short chapter. You'll do a little bit of work on chapter 3, and then we'll have for the next quarter, you'll have a small test, a small one, and it'll include factor label in chapter 3. So let's try again. The last 2 grades of this quarter will be certification. You'll get 20 points for being certified. And then I have a quiz worth 40 points, and that's it. That'll be the last 2 grades of the quarter. And then next week, you'll have chapter 3 tests with factor label, and that'll be your first grade of the next quarter. All right, so here's what you're going to do. You want to learn this as well as you can and say, I do know how to do these. And I've already reviewed this before, but I'll go a little faster today. Okay, factor label is a method for converting anything that can be converted into anything. Everybody got that? Pretty easy. I did the donut problem to remind you that I'm interested in how you're doing it. I want you to understand there's a thinking tool called factor label that can help you in many, many things. It can help you in math, SAT. It can help you in chemistry and physics. And so you have to learn how to use the tool. You also know that if you get equivalents, equivalents are keys. They unlock doors for you, okay? If you have equivalents, you can build conversion factors. Isn't that right? And a conversion factor, like for this case, converts grams of sulfur into atoms of sulfur, just like that. Now, whether or not you remember this or not, because I haven't seen you for a couple days, who said you can go around multiplying things by some weird-looking conversion factor? Who says that? What allows me to do that? And math does, doesn't it? Math says you can multiply anything times 1, and it equals the original number. It doesn't look like it, but it is. It's equal. So all conversion factors have to equal 1. How can they equal 1? Anything divided by itself, except for 0, is equal to 1. So that's a quick review there. Let's do type 1 again. Type 1, I'll never ask you what type it is. But type 1 says, hey, you know what? I only need 1 conversion factor to do the whole problem. You okay with that one? Those are baby problems. Number 2, type 2 means I'll still do the same idea. I just won't be able to do the problem with 1 conversion factor. I'll help with a string of them together. I tried to tell you this last week. I like math. Some of you like math. If you'll let go of the numbers for a while, let go of the numbers. If you'll make sure that the labels make sense and all these are equivalent, you're going to get the numbers right. You get that? Okay. Now, let's go to type 3, and this is where I just barely got that started, I think. Is that right? Is this the same problem I had for you, or did I have a different one for you? Did we do MPH? Did we do this? Did I do an MPH problem with you? Oh, did you do type 3 at all? Okay, well, now we're met. Okay, this is your class. Let's do a problem here. 100 MPH equals how many M over S? Okay, well, first of all, the reason I call this type 3 is because the given is going to look different than any given you've had so far. In our country, we love saying MPH. What does it actually stand for? Miles per hour. Now, what does per mean? Divided by. So let's write the given correctly. 100 miles. Here's another thing is, everybody in our country knows that the abbreviation for M is meters. Yet MI is for miles. But they're just not willing to call it MIPH, MIPH. They're not going to do it. So on your speedometer, you see MPH, but you're supposed to know it means miles per means divided by, hour. So that's my given, isn't it? Now, what we see here is, wait a minute, your given has something in the numerator and the denominator. Okay, so what do you want? Do you want these two to stay? And he said, no, I don't want those labels to stay. And do you want to get rid of hours down here? Why? Yeah, because the answer at the bottom has to be seconds. Well, then how do you get rid of hours in the denominator? Multiply by a conversion factor that has what? Help me out. Hours in the numerator. And we don't know, you don't know hours in seconds. So I do know hours in minutes. And remember, these have to be equivalent. 1 hour is the same as 60 minutes. Now, again, I'm very serious about factor label. If you don't cross out this label with a single line, I'll count out points because I want you to know where you're at. Am I done? No. You're in miles per minute. You can't be done. What's my goal? Meters per second. Okay, so how do I get rid of minutes here? I put minutes here. Okay, now we're getting close because now 1 minute is the same as 60 seconds. Now what am I in? I'm in miles per, look at them. I'm in miles per second. Am I done? No, because that means meters per second. Now, I will give you equivalents. You get that? The only equivalence I don't give you is powers of 10 because we spend a lot of time with powers of 10. Get that? But now I got to get rid of this guy here, so I'll just go over here and put him down there. I'm going to get rid of you. I'm going to get rid of miles in the numerator, but I'm not going to give, it'd be nice if I did it, but I won't. I won't be giving you meters and miles. I won't be giving it to you. I will give you this one. 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters. I'll give you that one all day. Okay? Now let me show you how we're at here, okay? Let me show you how you're thinking. This is an English unit, right? You cannot keep it there. You have to get into the metric world. Well, here's my bridge. English to metric. Metric to English. See that? So what I mean is, gotta get to the bridge. Gotta get to the bridge. So miles to what? And I'll give that to you. I will give that to you. Miles to feet. It's getting closer to inches, isn't it? What do you know about miles and feet? I'll give it to you if you don't know it. 1 mile is 5,280 feet. Okay, 1 mile, 5,280 feet. All right? Now, watch what cancels. Whoa, way over there. Now you're in feet per second. Do I put equals yet? No, so I built another one. Now remember, my goal is to get into the metric world, and I'm not there, so I know I'll get rid of feet, and let's go with inches. 12 inches is the same as 1 foot. Okay, am I done? I'm in inches per, see, don't touch that guy there. Leave him alone, okay? I'm in inches per second. We're getting close. I can tell. And 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. Woo! And the one I won't give you is the last one you really need. And what are we going to do here? Davis, impress me. It's Monday. Impress me. What am I going to do here? I'm almost ready to finish this. What are you going to use here? What's your last conversion factor? Centimeters and what? Okay, how many? Well, we don't know yet, do we? Centimeters and, yes. Isn't it a shame you get this far and you don't know your powers of 10 and you can't finish the problem? What do you think?
Would be 1 meter over 100 centimeters.
Yes. Now, you know what I think is interesting is that I have people, even in this room, I tend to think like you did, Davis. I say 1 meter is the same as 100 centimeters. See that? But I've had some people say 1 centimeter is 0.01 meters. It's okay. It's okay. As long as this number here is 100 times bigger than that number, you're going to get the right answer. If your brain likes to say 1 meter is 100 centimeters, then write it. If your brain says 1 centimeter is the same as 0.01 meters, then use that. You'll still get the same answer, I promise you. I don't know, I just figured out some people's brains, this is comfortable to me, the other one's not so comfortable. Okay, now are you ready? Now you know how to put equals because the unit here, meters per second, I'm ready. Meters per second. Now get your calculators out and here we go. I know it's been the weekend and some of you still have the bad habit you picked up in middle school somewhere. Do you need a calculator?
My calculator died during that.
Look back there. Oh, here it is. Here's my calculator right there. Go over there, right next to Elizabeth, right on this side of Elizabeth there. All right, we're going to break these habits, okay? Break the bad habit. I'm only going to press enter once. You are too. Ready? 100 divided by 60 divided by 60 times 5,280 times 12 times 2.54 divided by 100. All right, what do we get? If I have an answer, raise your hand if you have the answer. Okay, Danielle, we got 44.7 what? Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm not mean. I just want, when I do my certification, I'm going to do the same thing. I want you to say all your answers are going to eventually have to be in scientific notation and rounded to 3 sig figs. So I'm just going to make you put it 3 sig figs. I don't even care what numbers I use. I want everybody to have 3 sig figs, scientific notation. Now, if you'll press your calculator right now, and if you'll press mode, find where it says mode, M-O-D-E. Okay? See a little button? Now press mode. Now, right now, the box is probably around this thing called, what, normal? Are they calling it normal? Now, use your arrow key and go over to where it says SCI. SCI. Now press enter. Get that? Now, is the box for SCI highlighted? Okay, now, everything you do from now on will give you an answer in scientific notation. That's why I didn't want to teach that to you right away. Now, press enter again. And see it, did it take your answer and put it in scientific notation? Okay, now the good news is I taught you how to do it without a calculator. So you knew that 4.44 is about 4.47 times 10 to the first meters per second. And that's your final answer. Get that? Now, if you happen to go to math class and it's still in that mode and you hate me because I put it in scientific notation mode, go back to mode, push the button for mode again, and then use the arrow key and go back to normal. Okay? Everybody got that? But now, I'm going to make you put your answers in scientific notation and 3 sig figs, okay? All right, questions on type 4. Questions on type 4. Are you sure? Okay, last one. Last one. That's type 3, my fault. Type 3. This is type 4. Now, this is all I have also. I find that type 4 is the hardest one. The hardest one. But I'm going to try to teach it so that it's not so hard for you. And it looks like this. my question is, 1 cubic yard equals how many cubic inches? Now, you're going to sit there and say, I thought you said this was the hardest one. I think I know the answer to that one. It's like that donut problem, isn't it? No, it's not like the donut problem. Right now, I promise you, 1 yard is equal to 36 inches. I promise you. I also promise you that 1 cubic yard is not even close to 36 cubic inches. Not even close. So, here's the hint. When you see a distance unit and it's to the first power, like yards is yards to the first power, you are measuring distances. And we call them by different names. Distance, circumference, radius, length, width, diameter, radius. They have different names for it, but they're all distances. You get that? Now, thank you. But a distance unit to the first dimension it's one-dimensional. But what is a foot is like a one-dimensional foot. But what is a foot if you square it? It's not a foot anymore. It is a two-dimensional object. It's not one-dimensional. It's actually two-dimensional now. It has length and width. It's to the second dimension. It's been squared. And a square foot, if this measures distance, this measures area. Area. Two-dimensional area. Get that? And what is it? What would a foot to the third power be? Some people call that a foot to the third power or a foot cubed. You could also call it a cubic foot. Hey, I've heard that. My refrigerator has so many cubic feet. Yeah, that's right. I always wondered what that was. Now you're taking a one-dimensional object into not the second dimension, but now the third. And now you have a foot long, a foot wide, and a foot tall. And now this three-dimensional object is measuring volume. You ever got that? Now, this is not true. I don't know what a gram cubed is. That makes no sense to me. But any distance unit to the first power means distance. Any distance unit squared means area. And any distance unit means cube means volume. Now, the reason I have to tell this to you is that there's no way that answers 36. It's not even close. So let's show you how to do this trick, okay? 1 yard times yard times yard. Now, I happen to know that some of you are higher level thinkers than others. That's fine. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it the more concrete way, and then some of you will think you're big boys and girls, and you'll try to do it the more sophisticated way, and you'll make a mistake. But I will eventually give you time to learn how to do it the more high level way, and you'll get it right. All right, so what I did is I'm going to write the given a little differently, and I'm going to write it yards times yards times yards. So now, what you're going to do is, how in the world am I going to get rid of yards times yards times yards? I'm going to do this. Now, will this cancel this out? It will, won't it? Now, what am I going to change it into? What am I trying to change this into? Cubic inches. But you don't know the equivalence of cubic inches and cubic yards. But do you know the equivalence of inches and yards? I know that one. 1 yard is 36 inches. And 1 yard is 36 inches. And 1 yard is 36 inches. Now watch. What's my answer going to be in? What's the label that's left? Don't say inches. What's my label in? What do you think? Jonathan, what's the only label left here? Don't say inches. No, what do you think? If I finish this problem right here, see I put equals? That means I'm ready to finish it. What's my label going to be? All right, Max, I'm going right down the row. What's my label?
Don't know.
Okay. You don't. Whoa. Anybody? Anybody? Oh, in the whole class? Really? Really? Would it be that? What? I said don't say inch. What did you say? Did you say cubic inch? I couldn't hear you. My fault.
Yeah, that's what you said.
Okay, I didn't hear it. Sorry. So now what we do is we take your calculator and put 36 times 36 times 36, and let's put that answer down here. All right, what do you got? What do you got on calculator?
Is it 36? Oh gosh, my calculator.
Okay.
My stuff is.
Elizabeth, do you have it?
No, I'm like.
Okay.
Do you want it in scientific notation?
Yeah.
It's 36 cubed, right?
What? 36 cubed, yeah.
No, I'm just asking like. So
Yes, 36 times 36
okay,
times.
4.6656 times 10 to the fourth.
Okay, now I'm going to make you round to 3 sig figs. So 1, 2, 3. If I round to 3, do I ever look at the fourth one? I have to. And he's big enough. That goes to be 7. Get rid of all these. All right, what you would write down then, you'd write the final answer is 4.67 times 10 to the fourth cubic inches. Now, remember a while ago when you thought the answer might be 36 here? How close are you? Not even close. The biggest mistake I have seen people make is this one. What if I start here with 8? What if the problem says 8 cubic yards equals how many cubic inches? Big, big mistake. Who's being cubed here? And is there any difference between this? Does this equal this? Okay, see this? When you have this in math class, if you have 8x cubed, who's being cubed? Only the x. So why is it when I do these problems, I see people write 8, 8, 8? Because they think this is what I said. If this was the case, you would cube both of these, but this is not the same as that. Get that? So if I say 8 cubic yards, then it's just that. See that number there? And 8's not being cubed. Get it? Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to go ahead and get you started here, I think. If you think I was downplaying the big boy and girl stuff here, can I show you how you could do it? And I want to caution you, some of you want to be big math boys and girls. Some of you think you know what you're doing. Be careful. Here's another way you could do in this problem. Now, I know what that means, but some of you don't know what that means. I know that when I put it in my calculator, I'm going to do what? This is already cubed, right? So that'll cancel this out. I'm going to put 36 times 36 times 36 inches times inches times inches. Get that? So I'm going to hesitate for you guys to use that unless you really know what you're talking about. Okay, so what do you think? Questions on factor label? Now, what I gave you today, John, did you get one of these? Okay. I had a student one year, I wrote these out by hand. Well, I wrote this one out, but what it is it's a review of all 4 types. You get that? And so whether or not you have good notes or not, but you could use this, and you can use it today, you can study it, and what do you need to do? And by Wednesday, you say, I'm going to come back, I'm going to get that certification done. And this is just an example of some problems that we did before. Type 1, Type 2, Type 3, and Type 4. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'll go ahead and give you your certification. This is not like a quiz. You can use your notes. You can do whatever you want. You can even ask me a question as I walk around the room. But if you think you get one done, you think it's finished, just call me over to your desk, and and I'll give you I'll make sure you're certified. Stop the video.